Whew, my goodness. What's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. I'm back here for a brand new movie review. The name of this movie is Spotlight. I am going to be doing two different reviews of this, or overviews I should say. There's going to be one concrete review. It's going to be completely non-spoiler. I'm not going to reveal anything about the plot unless you want to actually know about the real based on true life events that this movie is based on. But the second one is going to be from a different perspective. That's all I can say. I'll say that towards the end. The name of the movie is called Spotlight. It stars Mark Ruffalo, Michael Keaton, Rachel McAdams, Levi Schmoller. Shoot, they even got John Slater in this movie. But this is the synopsis of the movie. The true story of how Boston Globe uncovered a massive scandal of child molestation and the cover-up of the specific Catholic Church. And that's all I'm kind of going to read. But it's so much more than that. Normally, I don't read synopses that come on IMDb because they reveal way too much about the story's, transparent plot. But this movie, I'm going to go ahead and talk about just like I normally would any other review. I'll go on the dynamics of the visual immersion, the soundtrack, the acting, as well as the story. But the story, the way I'm going to reveal, I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to talk about plot points. So the visual effects of this, like the cinematography, it was excellently shot. They didn't use a lot of trickery as far as like me haven't seen anything quite like this. It was really normally shot, but it was like for every single moment or significant thing that was happening, I think the most impactful things was when the characters, such as Rachel McAdams or Mark Ruffalo, are interviewing specific people that supposedly were going through the molestation situations. When you see it and actually hear it, it's so eloquently done because it focuses on the performance. And they give, how do I put it? They give so much more credit to the non-big name quote unquote actors to be able to tell this story. It's almost as though the non-actors, they feel real. They feel really authentic. The way that the cinematography is taken from their perspective. Every small scene where you see somebody that is a victim of this situation that happened or has been happening over a certain X amount of years, because the movie starts off in the very beginning. I think it was around like 1976 or something like that, where something had just happened. Molestation, I guess, case had just opened up, and it seemed really shady and really shoddy. And then from that point, the score goes, and the score, y'all, like, it's done so well. Like, it's the undercurrent of it because it's really smoothly paced. I don't know who did the score for it, but they did an amazing job with it. I actually really enjoyed it because I think it helps with the weight of it. When there's moments with silence, there are moments of silence. When there's key moments when things are just kind of pacing along, where they're kind of going and trying to uncover this case or this part of the situation, it's paced really well. It's up tempo, but yet at the same time, it's not too flashy. It's just right. And so as far as the cinematography, as far as the score is concerned, the cinematography is not anything I haven't seen before, but for the key moments that are significant, they are done and executed well, and they allow the actors to be able to showcase not just their skills, but their dedication to the roles and the craft of what the whole plot about this movie is, which I'll get into pretty soon. There was a point where Mark Ruffalo's character is kind of arguing with Michael Keaton's character, and like it's so deep, it's so impactful because the weight of everything has already hit you as a viewer, but when it focuses on like everything he's kind of already gone through to the point of like him arguing, it was a perfect kind of scene, and it added really good tension. But one of the things I'll say, and this is going to segue into the acting of this, the actors that to me are stealing the show are the victims. Like I said, like there are moments where I'm sitting there listening to these cases, and they are very explicit. I see why this movie, I think it's rated R, or at least it should be, because they go into some heavy, deep stuff. This movie is about 2 hours and 8 minutes long, but it's not too long because you want to see the completion of the story. When I was looking at Black Mass, there were moments where I was kind of feeling like, man, this is too much, too over the top at times. But it might be the true story, But this story as a weight like when you're hearing like the actors talk about their molestation situation or their after effects or the remnants of their life, or even people that have covered up stuff, like you see it all over their faces in their performance, and they do an amazing job. But the thing that I have to say as well is that Mark Ruffalo, Michael Keaton, Rachel McAdams, when they're doing the interviews, they do a good job of trying to cover up what they're internally hearing. They only towards the mid and the after acts show how they've been uncovering all this information, processing everything that has happened, how it's affected them. Because when they're doing the interviews and stuff like that, they're really professional, they're listening, they're doing this, they're attentive. But it's like everything that happened really had an effect on them, not just from their mental state or emotional state, from their spiritual perspective, what they believe. Like, is really intriguing to see. Like, man, it felt like this was real. And I mean, everybody plays their role to a T. Like, there are moments where I'm thinking, man, somebody's lying. Like, somebody's covered this part up. I think that specifically Michael Keaton's character, like in the beginning, like I'm like, okay, he's doing all he can to, do this right. But who actually, in my opinion, actually really steals the show is Levi Schmoeder, because his character, Marty Baron, is like, I guess this new New York Times best this, and came from Florida and did that, and now he's coming in. The first case he wants to do is open up about why this has not been investigated. And like, he is so funny because his character is like so monotone and so off-putting. Like, he doesn't play golf, he doesn't really get along with other people, he's not there for the prestige, like he's there for a mission. But it's like the way that he talks and articulates his words, he is the chain. Like, he is literally the chain that's driving this and is holding on to these characters. And he works with them so well as a team because he's pushing them, but at the same exact time, he's going through it with them. You see him putting just as much work in as each and every single one of them through the process of them trying to figure out what has really happened. And I'll go into that, into the segue into the plot. But I have to give him honorable mentions because if he didn't play the role like he did, it wouldn't have added as much weight, because I was kind of like, he's really off-putting. Like, I was thinking that Michael Keaton was going to be that character, but he wasn't. And, even though Michael Keaton's character was significant, his was even more so. And he did an amazing job with it. He did an amazing job. Even like John Slattery playing the role of Ben, I liked his character because I couldn't figure him out. I was like, I don't know this guy. Like, somebody's lying, And that's how I was kind of feeling. And that's good storytelling. That's good writing, scripting, and storytelling. So going into the plot, I'm not going to reveal to y'all what happens. If you want to read into it, look up the story. It's on IMDb. It'll go and give you to a web link, maybe Wikipedia, something like that. But it's some heavy stuff because it's the process that the Catholic Church has supposedly covered up numerous amounts of child molestation cases, and that they're trying to unravel and figure them out and figuring out how big a scope it is, And I mean, everybody's kind of come up with perspective. If you look at the movie Doubt, for instance, was that Meryl Streep and Philip Seymour Hoffman? That was an amazing movie. It was really well done. It was really sharp, but it was off-putting because you didn't know. These are proven, documented facts that are just put in your face, and like you're going through it and you're like, man, that's heavy. Like, I don't know if I want to hear this, but you don't have a choice. You have to sit there and take it. And you have to take in the fact that this is only in 2001, so how much more situations have happened in 2015. I remember when the case came up years and years ago, and like to hear it, it was like I was reliving it, And I mean, I guess that's the point of the movie. Like, it's a situation that is true, that it has happened, and the effect of it, I think, is even much weightier than the fact of that this did happen, because I'm looking at the effects that's happened on these actors or these characters, and it's like, it's sad. It's so seriously sad, man. Like, I was sitting there like, I'm a believer. Y'all know I believe in God, and that's basically what this other video I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a full spiritual perspective on the weight of how this movie made me feel. And I'm gonna add that to my second channel. I'll leave that in the description bar below, so y'all can be able to go to that if y'all want to hear my perspective on that. Being I am a Christian, it's gonna be interesting to say that. It's gonna be really hard for me to actually go through that. But as a movie reviewer, as a story, it was on point. It hit on every single target. Like I said, there wasn't anything big as far as cinematography, because I can't say that it revolutionized anything, but it was shot perfectly. It was scored perfectly. They had a great cast. The sub-characters, the sub-cast, which I don't even want to go through and name, they all did an amazing job. They were all believable, you know? And even towards the very end, it was just like, wow. Like, you will feel that weight of this movie, and I highly recommend you go and check this out as soon as it hits cinemas this weekend. I was blessed to be able to get an early screening of it, and actually I'm probably going to try to see it again. It was really well done. I'm going to buy it as soon as it comes out on Blu-ray. But yeah, again, this is not for kids. This is rated R. There's a lot to it, but hopefully you enjoyed my full review for the movie Spotlight. And yeah, I'm about to go ahead to this other thing, because this is going to be even more harder to do. Pray for me, y'all. But either way, keep it locked. SEL 0320 signing out. JVS.